Play, the written text, is the starting point for most theatrical productions. We begin with the play. The director gets their hands on that written text and translates it into action. Of course, reading a play is different from reading a novel or a short story. Instead of prose, the story is told in dialogue with individual characters speaking. Information is revealed in that way. Plays have to be complete and self contained. Everything that the reader, the director, the performer has to know about the play and the characters and the story is given to you in the text of the play. Plays are deliberately shaped. We will talk in just a moment about plot structures. Some plays have a structure that is linear. Some plays have a structure that is more random. Plays also are internally consistent. In other words, if a play starts out as a comedy, it's going to remain a comedy. It is not going to take a turn somewhere in the middle and become a drama or even a tragedy. Plays have variety. Plays include characters that will, in some way or another, appear and either provide some comic relief in a otherwise serious circumstance, or they are there to shake things up a little bit. A character that is unexpected might appear and cause some sort of unexpected conflict to occur. According to the Greek philosopher Aristotle, drama has to be organized. And Aristotle says that drama is the representation of human beings in action. Action is the most important word there because it is dramatic action that drives the play. Aristotle says that dramatic action should be organized on six levels. The first is plot. Plot, the plot of a play is the story. In the plot, with a plot, there can be two types. The first is the climactic plot. You've probably seen it, it's in your text. It's like a triangle without a bottom. The climax is the point of highest intensity at the top of the triangle. But when a play begins, when the story is taken up, that is referred to as the point of attack. Where does the playwright choose to begin the story? As the story progresses, very early on in what is known as the rising action, as the action of the play builds to that point of highest intensity known as the climax, that is referred to as rising action. As the play begins, characters appear and they start talking to one another. Two, three, four. Through this dialogue, we receive information. This is exposition, the setting forth of information. Within this information that is received, and as we are moving up this rising action, we will encounter what are known as discoveries, information that comes to us that will help us move toward that climax. We'll also receive complications, things that literally complicate the process of getting from point A to point B. And obstacles. Obstacles can be literal physical obstacles. weather, a natural disaster, heavy or turbulent seas, whatever. But it also can be a psychological or emotional obstacle, fear, doubt, anger. Eventually, the rising action will take us up to the climax, point of highest intensity. This, of course, is not the end of the play because the action has to go through what is known as a resolution. The action has to resolve. This is known as falling action. Falling action comes after the climax and leads us to the conclusion of the play. The falling action, the resolution, is also called the denouement, another word for resolving of or the resolution, the tying up of loose ends. Family members return, lost documents are found. Friends resolve their disputes, and their friendship is reclaimed. They are back together again. So that is the climactic plot structure. The progression of the events is linear. A causes B to happen, B causes C to happen, all the way up to that climactic point. The next plot structure, and the plot structure that is less common, certainly, than the climactic plot structure, is the episodic plot structure. The events are not linear. As a matter of fact, they are oftentimes out of sequence. Typically, an episodic plot follows one character, and this character's story can take a direction that might lead them forward in time. They might go back in time, forward again, all of it in an effort to tell this character's story and eventually build to a climax. Episodic plays also have climaxes and they have a resolution. Usually, after that climax, that resolution is rather quick to come. But remember that in an episodic plot structure, the sequence of events is more random. However, it is extremely effective in telling the story, presenting information just in the same way that a climactic plot will, but just in a non-linear way. Next, in organizing dramatic action, we have character. The playwright, in creating character in plays, um, draws them on four levels. The physical, which is, of course, the age, gender, ethnicity, any sort of physical qualities that the playwright wants to give to that character. Second is psychological. All characters want something. Every character in every play, no matter how large or small, has an objective, something that they want to achieve, to accomplish, to attain at some point throughout their journey through the story. These objectives are motivated by desires, the internal working of the character. What does the character want? Third, we have social. Where does that character fall on the social ladder? Are they very wealthy? Are they sturdily middle class? Are they lower class? Are they homeless? What is their status? This has an impact, of course, on all aspects of the character. Finally, we have moral. We know that the character is there because they have a need, a want. The moral issue of the character speaks to the lengths that that character will go to get what they want? What is their moral background? Are they willing to break the law? Are they totally honest? Are they already victims of something that that they are unable to get themselves out of, and for that reason, their actions are not normal. They are driven by a real need. So, physical, psychological, social, moral. Next, there is thought. Thought in a play is the theme. What message does the playwright want to leave with the reader, with the audience? Next, we have diction. Diction is language. The language in a play is can take different forms. William Shakespeare and his contemporaries and others wrote in verse. Um, most plays are in a language that we are familiar with. Sometimes playwrights choose to write in vernacular or the language of a specific group of people. Um, Sometimes plays require dialects. The use of the dialect helps to enhance storytelling as well as character. After diction, we have music, and music is music. During the 5th century BC, most of the plays that were written were fundamentally music dramas or musicals. The words were chanted oftentimes or sung. Of course, that changed over time, and theater language was spoken. The language of the play was spoken and not sung. I'll be right back.